Hey creatives! It's another new day and today, let's discuss what is a portfolio and why is it important in your creative career. So, a portfolio is basically the evidence of your work. So, even if you're a newbie, professional, a portfolio is something that's necessary so you can move forward with your career. So, what are the usual websites where you can create your portfolio and what should you be including in your portfolio? So, let's start with what should you be including in your portfolio? So, because a portfolio is your evidence of your career, it's also what you use to attract your ideal client. So, the works that you should be putting in your portfolio are the kind of work that you'd love to do in the future. So it doesn't need to be past client works because there's always the non-disclosure issues, but it can always be your personal work as well. So speaking of personal works, there are some creatives out here who would say that they don't have a portfolio yet because they don't have anything to put in their portfolio. So, how do you actually start building your portfolio? So, you can actually choose to create a portfolio using Facebook, Instagram, Behance, DeviantArt, Dribbble, other portfolio sites, or if you're really a creative who wants to build your personal brand, I recommend creating your own website. Although creating your own website with domain and hosting is usually more expensive. So if you're a beginner and you just want to start collecting your works and showcasing your works to the world, then I recommend using public websites such as the mentioned Facebook, Instagram, Dribbble, or DeviantArt. So first, to start compiling your works, if you already have some works, you need to decide, can I show this work to the public? Am I proud of this? Does this work have a non-disclosure agreement? Those are the questions that you first need to ask about when you're thinking of which work to put in your portfolio. But what if you really have no work yet and you want to start from scratch? So my first tip is decide what industry do you want to work in? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Are you into esports? Are you into fashion? Are you into entertainment? And then the next step is to create a work, an output based on what you love. So for example, you're a fan of esports. So for example, I'm a really big fan of League of Legends and Faker and I want to create a poster with Faker on it. I need to find images that are public domain. So what is our public domain works or works pictures with no copyright issues? Because first of all, don't put any stolen works in your portfolio. So avoid also using copyrighted image. So what are the pages where you can get public domain images? So it's either you illustrate from scratch. So for example, I mentioned Faker. So I can create an original illustration of his face or of his look. So it's also while we're on that, let's discuss vectoring images. So you can still get in trouble if you actually vector a copyrighted images. So you can look up the Hope Obama campaign where an artist got in trouble for using a copyrighted image. So I recommend just sketching from scratch, doing caricature or something. And then of course there's still an issue of finding references, so and using references versus directly tracing. So it's better to get inspiration and not directly copy. So we're talking about portfolios here. So if what you put in your portfolio is already questionable to begin with, it's like a very shaky foundation for your creative career. So anyway, so once you've established, you've created an original work related to esports and related to Faker, as I've mentioned, then you can put this work in your Facebook page if you've chosen to use Facebook. You can post in Facebook groups, your personal page. It's sharing your work. That's what a portfolio is about. It's showcasing your skills. So that's why a portfolio is really important. Even if you're applying for work, aside from your resume, the employers now are looking for portfolios, and they're looking for proof of your skills. And this is why don't ever steal works of others, and don't ever use stolen works to put in your portfolio, because there is no secret that don't get revealed. Like eventually the truth will appear, and as they say, the truth will set you free. And so you just need to be honest with your skills, because not there are employers who are willing to train you as long as you're willing to learn. And there are a lot of resources in learning nowadays, so it's not an excuse anymore that you need work so you steal, because you're just going to ruin your reputation. And reputation is a very big chunk of your creative life, especially if you're a freelancer. And what I always say is the internet is immortal. Once you've been outed in the internet that you're an art thief, then you're ruining your future. When they search your name, if you ever create a crime, your crime will all appear on the internet, and who'd hire you then? So it's better to start clean, start with a clean slate, live your creative life with honesty. So when you're creating works, don't steal photographs. Always ask for permission. Credit properly. There are free resource websites such as Pexel, and then you can purchase stock images from images like Shutterstock. There are a lot of ways to go about with honestly creating works and building your portfolio. And as someone who wants to educate creatives, I believe that if you're not good yet, then there's a way for you to be good. But if you're already closing your mind to the possibilities, then you're hurting yourself mostly, because you won't start with a perfect portfolio, but you can eventually make your way to a great portfolio you can be proud of. So let's start creating. Let's create with honesty, and let's go get our jobs done. So to summarize this video, so first, what is a portfolio? A portfolio is your evidence of your work. It's your marketing material. It's what your employees will see. It's what you will show your employers. So it's basically the way your work will introduce you to the world. And then number 2, where can I start building my portfolio, or what are websites where I can actually showcase my work, and eventually these websites can become my portfolio. So as I mentioned, it can be Facebook, DeviantArt, Instagram, there's Behance, there's Dribbble, and then there's your personal website, which you can build in the future. Or if you already want to invest in your personal brand, then for as low as around 2,000, you can actually buy hosting and a domain. But if you don't know how to code, it's hiring a developer that can be a bit more expensive. So when you're going to create your own website and your own portfolio, it will take a lot of planning. So I think we can have another video for that segment. And then what are the works that you can put in your portfolio? It should be your works that you're proud of. So if it's a client work, you need to ask permission from your client to purchase it, or if it's stated in your contract that you can put it in your portfolio, then you can go put it in your portfolio. Then you can also put your personal works, your practice works, as long as you really love the output, you can also put that. You can put charity works if you actually we actually encourage that. If you want to volunteer, it's also a way of honing your skills. But don't get me wrong, I'm still discouraging free works, but the only exception that I create with free works is charity works. It's when I want to impart my time with things that I believe in, such as animal welfare, or the welfare for the sick and the needy, and other stuff that I really want to believe and support. So I hope this video is helpful, and let me know if you have any other questions or comments. See you next time!